Hi, welcome back to On the Volley, or as we're otherwise known, OTV. My name's Matt. I'm just going to do a little bit on today's and yesterday's games in the Premier League. So I already did something on Manchester City versus Chelsea. That was a great win for City, pretty much knocking Chelsea out the title race. Liverpool kept themselves in that with a 3-0 win against Brentford today. Great performance considering they've lost two of their most important players in terms of Mane and Salah. But what I really want to talk about is the battle down right at the bottom. This weekend has been a massively important weekend for that in the Premier League. And the biggest result for me in terms of importance is Newcastle United against Watford, the 1-1. And it's quite a significant moment in Newcastle's season here. They were 1-0 up. They were out of the bottom three at that point as the game went on, and then they concede a late goal to make it 1-1. That means Watford stay out of the bottom three and Newcastle remain in it. Norwich also winning 2-1 against Everton, which has resulted in the sacking of Rafael Benitez. I think it was pretty much on the cards anyway. He was definitely going to go. Everton have had no form since the start of the season. They did quite well at the start of the season and have dropped like a stone ever since. It was inevitable that Rafa Benitez was going to go, I think. Norwich put the final nail in the coffin and did themselves a great favour at the same time. We're going back to the Newcastle game, and this is why it's so important. Newcastle 1-0 up in that game, conceded a goal in the, I think, 85th or 86th minute in that game. What contributed to that, to me, was the decision of Eddie Howe to take off two players and rest them. Okay, maybe they're getting tired. I think keepers said that, that basically this is the previous regime where they can't last 90 minutes. They're only lasting 70 minutes. But he takes Sam Maximum off, and right down the same side, the cross comes in because Sam Maximum was pinning back Watford's right back all game. As soon as he goes off, he's got the freedom of the park and he runs up, he puts in a brilliant cross, and it's a great finish to make it 1-1. And that, for Watford, has been a great result. Lost the last 5 on the bounce, I think maybe even the last six on the bounce. Get a draw at St James's against one of your closest rivals down there at the bottom is a massive result, and Newcastle had the chance to get out of the bottom 3 if they'd won that game. It's not looking good for Newcastle at the moment, I've got to say. Even with the investment that they've had, even with the Trippier coming in, with Wood coming in, these players are going to take a little bit of time to adapt. I get that, but who else is going to want to come now? This is a real dogfight now for Newcastle. They are going to have to get a lot of points out of their remaining games. I know they've got Leeds coming up. They know they've got Everton coming up. They probably wanted to play Everton when Benitez was in charge and they were maybe on the ascendancy. It would have been a great result for them if they'd won that game against Watford, and it hasn't worked out that way. And I think this is going to cause them massive problems going towards the end of the season. We're going to look at this result and see it as a very definitive result in Newcastle's season. Leeds getting out of there as well with the 3-2 win today against West Ham, which is a brilliant result for them. Absolutely brilliant result for them. It really alleviates any nervousness about them going down. I was talking to a friend who's a Leeds fan last week, and he was asking me, do you think Leeds are going to go down? And I said, well, I don't know. Now I'm pretty sure I do know. I don't think Leeds are going to go down. So really, the number of teams that are circling that bottom 3 is now down to 5. Everton in there, obviously, even though they're a few points clear at the moment. With the way that they've been playing recently, they will get dragged into that at some point. But I still don't think Everton are the team that is going to be in the mix at the end of the season. So I think it's down to 3 of 4. so it's down to 3 or 4. That is Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, and Watford. As I say, Watford have got a great result, getting a draw there. They probably didn't deserve it, to be honest, from the game, but they got it. They played pretty well, to be honest. So maybe it's a bit harsh saying they didn't deserve it, but it's a last minute equaliser, if you like, or late equaliser. So yeah, it's hard to predict now. Norwich winning against Everton is maybe a one-off. I still think Norwich are going to go down, but they've put themselves in a position where they can fight. They've put themselves in a position where they've got a chance of getting out there. And looking at the other 3 teams around them, they're actually looking the more likely. They've had better results recently than Watford, better results than Newcastle, better results than Burnley. They've actually won more games than Burnley and Newcastle. They've won 3, and those 2 have only won 1 each all season. Norwich have got every chance. Now they put themselves in a real good position with that result, and I feel sorry for Newcastle fans. Great football in town, great football in city, should I say. Love your fans, always have, since I lived up there. But you're really on the precipice at the moment. You really are on the precipice. I'm sorry for keeper, who is also obviously a Geordie. And Burnley, I think their time's over in the Premier League. I think they've just. If you've just sold one of your top goal scorers, not top goal scorers because they only scored 3 all season, but one of your most influential players to your nearest rivals in the relegation battle. That doesn't bode well. It looks like Burnley have already resigned themselves to going down, as I thought Norwich had, but Norwich obviously giving it a bit more fight. So that's all I can say really on the weekend fixtures. Well done to Aston Villa for getting a draw against Manchester United after being 2-0 down. But for me, Matt, I'm out.